Heidi ho, yo. I'm at my favorite hotel chain, La Quinta. I am lying in bed, feeling a little sick to my stomach, 'cause just ate some ice cream. Pint, to be sure. Baklava flavor, which was actually pretty nice. I'm in Tennessee, as the title of the video might mention. It has been a complete pain in the butt to get here. I was scheduled for an interview for a PGY2 residency program in Tennessee on Monday. So on Sunday, I left for the airport out of Fort Lauderdale, where I should have arrived at the airport with an hour before my flight left. However, on a Sunday afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there was rush hour traffic. That made no sense. The bus that I got on, I went to economy parking, and the bus that was going to take me to the terminal decided it needed to wait 5 or 10 minutes before it was going to leave the parking lot and head on over. Then, when I get out on the bus ride to the airport, I'm looking at my boarding pass that I printed and found out that my wonderful printer decided it was going to print everything perfect except my name. It had actually cut off most of my name on the boarding pass. And my cousin used to work for TSA. But even without that kind of relationship with the TSA, I'm pretty sure they're not happy when your boarding pass doesn't have your name on it. So I went to the ticketing counter, and I was flying on Allegiant Airlines. I urge you, the moral of this story you will get in a moment. So at the Allegiant Airline ticket counter, nobody. It's all closed down. There's nobody there. So I go back to TSA. Well, I go back to the security checkpoint, get in line. The TSA agent's not happy, but they have 3 TSA agents look at it. My name was mostly there, and of course, compared to my name on my driver's license, it matches up. And so they decide they're going to let me through, and I am eternally grateful for it. However, the same TSA agent who was at the ID check station comes and tells me, right as I'm the next person to go through the X-ray machine, well, put my my carry-on and things through the X-ray machine, he says, wait, we're going to change operators, so you need to wait here. And of course, the lady right in front of me, who would have been the last person through the X-ray machine, her bag needed to be scanned 2 more times before they could finally sign off the one guy and get the other guy logged in so that he could now be the X-ray machine guy. So I was stuck at at the security checkpoint for a couple minutes for the ID thing, and then 5 to 10 minutes total for the X-ray machine crossover. Finally get myself through the point and get my stuff back on. I had to put my belt back on and my shoes back on. I didn't even tie my shoes. I just kind of got everything on. And obviously my gate is going to be the second to last one. So you have to go all the way down the terminal to get there. And as I come around the corner, the door is closed, but the plane is there and the jet bridge is still connected. And I said, yes. And I get up there, and the lady asks who I am, and I said, I'm probably the only guy that's not on the plane right now. And she calls on the radio to the plane, and they have verified count. Now, what verified count means is that they have made a count of the number of people on the aircraft and have reported that to the flight control tower, and so that's it. They don't change that count. For them to change that count would be to forfeit they'd have to forfeit their place in the takeoff lineup and everything, and so they're not going to do that. So yeah, they actually wouldn't let me on the plane. Despite the fact that the plane was there, the jet bridge was still connected, they wouldn't let me on the plane. And I missed my flight. So I called the residency program, let them know. Oh, I will mention that from what I understand, and I wasn't wearing my watch or my phone, because when I go to the security checkpoint, I kind of put those all into my my carry-on bag, and then, like I said, I was in a hurry after I got off. After I got through security, I was in a hurry to get to the thing. So I didn't really check my my phone or my watch for exactly what time it was. But based on the time that was on the clock when I was at the security checkpoint and the couple, maybe 2 minutes it took me to get to the end of the terminal, it's a small terminal, It should still have been within more than 10 minutes. Wow, computer, don't do that. I don't have my laptop plugged in, and the screen just went black. It should have been more than 10 minutes till takeoff, and according to that Allegiant Airlines terms of use, they closed their flights 10 minutes prior to departure time. So they closed their flight early, despite the fact that they did not have all of their passengers on board, and I had checked in for the flight. It's not like, oh, we're missing people, but they didn't check in. I checked in for the flight. So I was incredibly pissed off. I called the residency program, let them know, and on Tuesday, they called me back and said that, hey, Friday, you can do your interview on Friday. And I said, okay. Now, obviously, I go online and I'm looking at how I can get to Tennessee, and specifically, I had to fly into Knoxville. And unfortunately, there's only like 2 airlines that fly into Knoxville. One was Delta that wanted to charge me nearly $800, and then the other one's Allegiant that was going to charge me $250. So only because I don't have $800 sitting around am I flying on Allegiant. I would otherwise let you know. For anyone who hasn't flown them before, they fly very unusual routes. They actually fly out of Arizona. We have our Phoenix International Airport, but then over by where I live in Mesa, we have Mesa I think they call it Gateway Mesa Airport, and Allegiant flies out of there, and they fly from Mesa, Arizona to somewhere in South Dakota, because why not? So likewise, they fly from Fort Lauderdale to Knoxville. But otherwise, you get what you pay for with Allegiant Airlines, and you are getting a very cheap ticket because they offer absolute crap service. Their planes are terrible. I don't want to be too mean towards the personnel, like the pilot, the flight attendants, even the gate agent. None of them were like mean or bad or terrible people, but overall, their company is terrible. And this is coming from me. I worked for a terrible small regional airline. I spent a year as a ramp agent for these airlines. I know how they work. I know the kind of cut rate service they offer, and Allegiant is not much different in that respect from my airline. And so you are going to get what you paid for, which is they will fly you from one spot to another if you are lucky. Reason being, Thursday night I have to fly out for my Friday morning interview. The flight that leaves out of Fort Lauderdale leaves at 4:40. When I check in the day before, they've already delayed the flight to 4:55, which is a good sign, of course. By the time I get to the airport, I get there later than I planned to, and that's another story. Thursday night before I go to bed, I put my laundry into the washer. And I fell asleep early on Thursday night. So I was going to originally just do it all Thursday night, but Wednesday night, but I fell asleep. So Thursday morning I wake up, I put my laundry in the dryer, set the dryer to run for an hour, then I go to school because I have to teach a class. After teaching the class, I come back home. It's not quite noon, and the laundry, I go to the dryer, it is soaking wet, damp. It's like I didn't even turn the dryer on in the morning before I left. But I know I did, because my roommate was there, and I turned on the dryer, and I was thinking to myself when I did it, oh, maybe my roommate's going to get mad that I'm, leaving the dryer run while I'm gone, because, who knows, it's going to start a fire and burn down the house. But then I remembered that my roommate always does that very thing, leaves laundry in the washer or the dryer, and then leaves the house and just goes, so not going to be an issue. So, I dried it for an hour. I set it for an hour, went to school, came back, it was still wet. So I turned it on for another hour, come back after that hour, still wet. It's drier, but it's not dry. So then I set it for yet another hour, and now we are that second hour already was eating into I should have already been heading to the airport time, because I wanted to be there very early. But I still had time because I was building in a buffer. And so finally, after that third hour of drying, my clothes were actually dry. And I was able to pack up, head to the airport, still got there with plenty of time for my 4:55 flight, which, as I get through security and check the departure board, has been delayed to 8 o'clock. Because Allegiant, that's why. They leave too damn early on Sunday, so they decide they're going to leave really frickin' late on Thursday to make up for it. Allegiant, by the way, only flies that route 2 days a week, Sundays and Thursdays. That's it. So then, as I'm sitting there waiting, because now I have to wait an extra 3 hours at the airport, the gate agent comes on and says, okay, well now the flight's been delayed and the new time is 9 o'clock. And then the new time was 10 o'clock. And the plane got there around 10 o'clock and took forever to offload the people, and then took forever to get cleaned and serviced and refueled. And then finally, we actually took off at around 11:30 at night for my 4:40 flight. So it was almost a 7-hour delay. That meant that I got to Knoxville at 1 o'clock in the morning. Now, my interview was actually a 2-hour drive away from Knoxville. So I got there at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I had an 8 a.m. interview for a job. Isn't that wonderful? So I slept not at all, basically. I mean, I did go to sleep, but it was more of a very short nap. Woke up at 7 o'clock, took a shower, got in my suit, headed downstairs to, I had to put all my stuff in my car because the interview was going to take all day. It went from 8 o'clock to 3:30. And checkouts, well before that. So I had to be all out of the hotel room and ready to go. So then I had my interview, which went okay. I'm not going to say it went great. I'm not going to say it was like the perfect interview ever. Part of it was because I had absolutely no sleep. And did the whole interview thing. Got in my car, drove back to Knoxville. And on the way, I stopped at a McDonald's, and it was a Friday now, and it's Lent, if you hadn't noticed. So then I stopped at McDonald's, had a Filet-O-Fish. Terrible, terrible sandwich, the Filet-O-Fish. Absolutely garbage. I'll also mention this, since it relates. When I landed in Knoxville, and then I knew I had a 2-hour drive ahead of me. I stopped at the first McDonald's I saw because I just wanted to buy a large soda. And I figured, you know what, I might as well get something like a Filet-O-Fish sandwich, since it was after midnight, technically Friday, just so I could have something to eat, since I would have to get up real early in the morning, and I'd want some fuel in the tank. So I wait in line. There's like 3 cars ahead of me, and the lady who's there when I pull up, she's already at the speaker giving her order. And I'm sitting there, and I'm listening to the radio, and she's just sitting there, and sitting there, and sitting there. And it had been several minutes. And so then I'm like, okay, I turn off the radio, I roll down my window, and she's just ordering continuously. It's like she's filming Epic Mealtime or something. She's ordering so many freaking things. And every single item she ordered had to be special made. She got, like, combo number 11 is the Filet-O-Fish combo. So she was getting Filet-O-Fish combos, but it had to have no cheese and extra tartar sauce, or double the cheese and no tartar sauce, or something had to be changed about every frickin' little thing that she ordered. And then the next person who was in front of me, one of the guys in front of me left. And then, so there was only one other car in front of me. They gave their order, which was much quicker. Then I get up there, and the guy says he'll be with me in a couple minutes. And I sit there, and I'm not exaggerating at all. I watched the clock, because I was very cognizant of what time it was. I was sitting in the line waiting to order for over 5 minutes, and I was sitting at the speaker waiting to give my order for 10 minutes. And I said, you know what? Screw you. I have no sleep already. You're not going to cost me even more of it. So I just left. I drove away. During that 10 minutes that I sat there, no less than 5 cars pulled up behind me and waited, and then got fed up and left. And so I also left. I went across the street to the Wendy's and just got a soda, and I said, "That's it, large soda, no ice." I ordered a large soda, no ice. When I got to the window, I think she might have even been the manager, was filling up my drink, and the guy was going to hand it to me, and I said, "No ice." And then the manager, you could just see the look on her face. She was all pissed off about it, and she had to dump my soda and then refill it again without ice. I don't want ice. I need caffeine because I don't want to fall asleep driving in the dark in a state that, well, I've been to Tennessee before, but I've never driven in Tennessee. I may very well have... No, I don't think I even drove through part of Tennessee when I drove up to Erie. Yeah, because I came up through Missouri and that, so it was even before you'd reached Tennessee. So yeah, the very first time I'm ever driving in this state, and I don't want to get lost, and I don't want to die, so I want to stay awake while I'm driving. So the hotel they put me up with, the program I interviewed with, they actually paid for my hotel room, which was really nice. The hotel was really nice too. It was a very fancy hotel. But I decided I was going to stay in Knoxville after that. I could have rented a hotel room over by the interview, but I wanted to be as close as possible to the airport, especially given Allegiant's flight record. So I rented a room at a La Quinta because I love La Quinta, and I'm a member of their rewards program, and I get a discount. And so yeah, lying in bed, I went and got some ice cream because I like ice cream. I spent the day, because Allegiant only flies 2 days, I've been here all day here Saturday, and I'm here for almost all day Sunday, and then I fly out late Sunday night. And the fun thing is, this is where I am. This is where I'm sitting. I'm watching Dual Survival on the Discovery Channel, which is a pretty awesome show, and I think his name's Cody London, or Lundeen. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce his last name, but he's not from, but he lives in Prescott, Arizona. So I like listening to him sometimes too. Especially one of the episodes, they were in the desert of Chile, and so it's obvious he knows, what he's doing in the desert kind of situation. And yeah, so I decided I was going to record this video. I have to work on homework even while I'm here. I'm not technically on vacation, of course, but it feels kind of like a vacation. But I still have assignments and stuff that are due, and they'll be due Monday. And come Tuesday, I turn right around and I have my second interview. This one will be in Oklahoma City. And it's actually the program that I'm more interested in matching with, because it's an infectious disease program, and I'm really, really interested, I think, in infectious disease. I think overall it might hold my interest a little bit better than the program I interviewed at the other day. Although I really do like the program here. It offers a lot of very, I'm going to say attractive, yeah, very attractive opportunities. You work actually in a family medicine clinic with medical residents, and it would be a very valuable experience here. And Tennessee's a really nice place. One of the pharmacy schools I interviewed at when I was looking to get into pharmacy school was Belmont, which has by far the most beautiful campus I have ever seen. Belmont is a very wonderful place. I might have even mentioned this in a video before, but it's a private university, but it was built on the estate of a millionairess from back in the day. Like she had millions back in the day when that was kind of like having billions. And it's a beautiful campus in a beautiful estate. And the state of Tennessee itself, even right now, it's the middle of winter. All the trees are dead. Everything looks and it's been cloudy the last couple days. But even in the dreary cloudiness, there's still green grass, and the rolling hills are nice. And by the way, everybody in Tennessee is incredibly nice. Every single person that I have met here and talked to in any capacity has been incredibly friendly. And some of that kind of southern hospitality you hear about. So it's a wonderful little place to be. But yeah, I decided I'd record a video. I'm going to be heading to bed soon. It's 11 o'clock. I got to get me some sleep. This video is 20 minutes long because why the heck not? Anything else to mention? Not really. I'm just really hoping and praying that Allegiant gets their crap together tomorrow and I'm actually able to fly back to Florida, because I have to be back in Florida on Tuesday to fly to Oklahoma. I can't afford to not be there. And they can't cancel my flight or do any kind of crap like that. Alright. So until next time, bye-bye.